Death Watch.
Welcome back to Cradle of the World, the Pathfinder First Edition campaign by Death Watch Productions. I'm Brandon, the Game Master, and we'll return to our heroes now, who at the end of last session had engaged in a battle with a weeping undead woman who tested them sorely, but they overcame her and she fled. And so Casimir and Rohan were both stunned. And Fenrith had been suffocating, but managed to make the final save to keep from passing out and then dying. And so as the undead woman had fled, Fenrith, with an attack of opportunity, had done a brutal critical attack on her that cleaved her in two, but her long hair seemed to grab hold of the part of the body that was going to fall away, and she fled deeper into the tunnels. And Graham had been working to disable a trap that he found at the end of that session as well. And so that's where we'll pick back up. But first we'll introduce our heroes, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris, playing Casimir, hero of the Roc. Just beat Diablo 4, and boy, are my arms tired.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am Travis, playing Graham, hero of the sea, and I remember failing a will save, but I didn't hear myself on the list of afflicted, so must not have been bad.
Game Master doesn't remember, it doesn't
Right.
hurt you.
And I'm Justin, playing Rohan, hero of the sky, and I must have been afflicted by something that made my arrows fly badly last game session, so hopefully that ends this one.
And I'm John, playing Fenrith, hero flame, and I secretly cursed Rohan's arrows and bow, and that should be ending next game session.
Okay.
Also, you managed to avoid drowning.
In
Yes,
hair.
in the hair.
Yeah.
So what you failed, that save, Graham, actually caused you to be slowed.
Oh, that's right. There we go.
And so you are suffering the effects of slow.
And we
Graham.
determined this isn't a time dilation effect. It's physically slowing your movement.
Graham, you remind me of the past you. I like this version of you.
So
I used my... Oh, sorry. Go
it
ahead.
is your turn, Graham.
Right. So
You had found this trap in the ceiling here, and you were working to disable it, which would take 3 rounds.
yeah. So is that going to expand the time because I'm slowed, or am I just only needing to use a standard action each round?
Yeah,
Because if it's full round, I think basically it doubles the length
yeah.
to disable device. So is it 3 full rounds I needed to do?
Right.
So 6.
Yeah, so 5 more.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll keep at it for now. I think it seemed like I heard Fenrith gasp for air, so he's breathing again. I think we're doing okay. So yeah, I'll keep at it.
Casimir isn't talking. Something's wrong.
And end my turn after working at it.
Okay, so then you all had heard the weeping woman's cries echoing through the tunnels. But now you hear a different sound, and it is that of weeping, mewling children with a feral tinge to it, echoing from the tunnels. So, you all hear that, and so from where you are, it sounds like it's coming from both the north and the south. And then that will bring us to
Well, Casimir.
Rohan. So you're stunned,
Okay. Yeah.
and that will end now that your turn is over. Casimir, you are stunned,
Mm-hmm.
and
You think it's like that GIF from, it's like that some sort of 70s show where it's I think a guy opening a door and seeing something. And he's kind of like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
is Casimir just standing there doing that?
Fenrith, now it's your turn.
So these two are stunned, and Graham popped back around the corner. There's wailing children in the hallways.
Yes. It sounds something like that.
These are, in fact, not undead children, just normal children.
Which means that, Casimir, you and I have to dispatch them.
Wailing and mewling, that does sound like normal children to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything I can do with the stun, but like they're
I
still
have
movable,
something.
right?
Like you could move them, yeah. They're not held in place.
Yeah. I think, actually, it's probably just 1,000-yard stare, kind of like wide eye, maybe some shaking for stun.
I'll move up to here and tell Graham that he needs to hurry up with that chest before whatever is coming our way gets here. Is ready an attack action for if anything.
It takes as long as it takes, Fenrith. Just
it
like
comes
getting your
within the
armor
range.
off.
Okay.
Thanks, Fenrith. Telling me to hurry's always worked in the past.
Graham, now it's your turn.
So knock another round off there. I thought I had a scroll of heal, which might work against stun, but maybe I just don't have the spell set up. But if heal does work against stun, then I'll tell people I have it in my pouch for Fenrith.
It does.
Yeah, I'll tell them.
Okay. All right. So now the cries from the children is getting louder now, much louder. And much like when the woman was weeping, there's no pause to take breath like you would normally expect. So it's just a never ending,
A siren almost.
yeah. And it's a lot like, the sound of, when babies reach the point where who knows what the problem is. And so they're crying with all their heart and all of their mind. And on top of that, there's also the same sound that you like when babies are injured. So it's like two separate cries going from at the same time.
Starting to think we wandered onto a Delta flight.
It's getting louder.
You've got an irate woman screaming and attacking people and children crying for an unknown reason.
I'll just take it as being lucky so far. I've never had that. Last flight on Delta was empty. I had every seat around me was just empty. It was awesome. There was
That's the dream.
Waking up in a plane by yourself.
Being on a plane with no one around you.
I like how so many of our collective dreams involve
no one.
isolation.
I had a dream I was in prison, but there was no one there. It was amazing.
I loved it. Yeah.
Or they're weird. The dream I had last night was I was power washing, but there was something happening that could cause me to electrocute myself. I was just trying to avoid that while power washing at the same time.
Was it just slowly creeping closer to the...
I really have no... I think it was one of those dream things where it actually made no sense. It was two completely abstract concepts that are put together that for some reason equal electrocution in your dream state.
Oh no, they're getting closer to the uninsulated
Right.
uninsulated concrete.
But I think I was power washing freshly laid sod off of somebody's yard. So the grass, isn't that what they call it? Sod, yeah.
Yeah.
So they just put it down and it's rolling. Hope you needed this. That's actually how they get the sod in the first place.
So they just power wash it off of a
Power
normal
wash
grass.
it off.
They just power wash a normal lawn real hard.
Yeah, see, they have poor countries grow sod, and then we power wash it off, take it here, sell it to rich folk. That's how we make the money.
It's kind of funny you say that because there are a bunch of sod farms just south of here.
Oh, nice.
We're the poor country. Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we are the poor country. Yeah. I remember when I was younger, we used to go and pick up the scraps that kind of broke off of stuff and that just kind of threw to the side of the fields.
Eventually have a nice patch of lawn going, but it's 3 different variations of grass.
It's all the same variation of grass, but yeah, no, yeah. We turned a big section of a bare yard into nice lawn that way.
All right, so Rohan, back to you.
All right. And I'm done being stunned this
Yeah,
now?
stunned is done now.
Oh, it's short. Never mind.
Okay. I'll kind of step forward a little bit and cast my dancing lights down the tunnel here. Where did it? Down here.
Okay. All right, so yeah, those lights whiz down there, and you can see that there's a branch, but then it also continues on forward for a ways.
And is there any way for me to distinguish which way the wailing is coming from?
No, just that direction.
Okay.
There's too much of an echo effect to pinpoint.
Yeah, and I'll kind of tell Fenrith, I'm fine now. Just shook me up a bit.
Okay. All right, Casimir still stunned. And then Fenrith.
Move up to here.
Okay. Yeah, so you move up there and come to stop in the dust and bone pile from the skeleton, and you can see Graham there.
All right. So
Disarming this trap like I'm not in a hurry at all.
You've been doing that since you found it.
Well, Fenrith told me to.
I thought I had another scroll of break enchantment, but I don't think I do. Can't find it in my inventory. So I'll just be digging through my backpack at this point.
Okay.
I thought I had another one.
All right. So that's your turn, and then Graham.
Okay, this is round 3
Mm-hmm.
now. Yes.
Okay. Cries become louder.
Hey guys, I should really hurry up. They're getting closer.
And then Fenrith, you do spot something come around that corner up there. And what you see is what looks to be like a child, no more than 2, with a unnaturally bulbous head and withered, useless legs, dragging itself across the floor with sharp claws and jagged teeth in the mouth that's screaming its cries now. And, red eyes piercing the darkness as it crawls slowly in your direction.
Guys, I think we should just leave the chest.
Well, now I'm like a gambling addict here. You got me committed to it. I can't stop now.
Rohan, now you see the same thing down there, except you see 2 of them dragging themselves along the stone floor, crying out with jagged teeth in their mouth. And then further away, you hear the weeping woman again, but her weeping stops just briefly so she can give a laugh before she goes back to weeping. And Rohan, it's your turn.
All right, so I just see 2 of them. Can I tell if they're... Well, actually, I can't see them. Are they on the map?
Sorry, let me fix that real quick. Now you can see them.
Okay. Do I hear any others? Or does it sound like there are more of them? Or
Well, do this. Do your perception.
all right.
I feel like if these entities catch up to you and they touch you, then you're saddled with a family from that point on.
Child support. All right, roll your willpower.
All right, so
You now have to pay a percentage of your
it's
earnings.
because of the echo. It's hard to be certain, but it does sound to you like there might be more.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to cast Entangle to try and slow these things down. No, I don't want it right there. I want it to right about there. So yeah, like that. So that as they come in, they get slowed down a little bit.
Okay, that's the area you want it in.
Yeah. And we'll use that spell. And then once they get in there, then we'll do the entanglement.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll kind of backpedal just a tiny bit at the horror of what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Casimir, just picture them as your little brothers and stab to kill.
I don't hate my little brothers.
You'd have to hate them quite a bit.
I don't even know why you'd suggest that, Rohan.
What is the
Those
radius
didn't exist.
of entangle?
40.
40?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were there in the womb, but you're like, gosh.
Like a shark, he ate them.
Go away.
All right. Anything else, Rohan?
There can be only one. No, that's...
Okay, Casimir. Now it's your turn. You're no longer stunned.
All right, I will quickly pick up my trident, and I'll guess I'll ready for it. Yeah, let's ready for a charge. I rarely get to use it.
All right. So from your perspective, you can't see these things yet, but it does sound pretty horrific.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say I need to set in a direction, does it? I'm
No,
just ready
I'm
for
just-
a charge from any direction.
Yeah. And Fenrith.
All right, I'm gonna 5 foot. I don't think that's a full 5 foot. I'm like in between. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tactful.
And then it's time to. How big is this place? Like this tunnel?
What do you mean, like how?
How tall?
Oh, so the ceilings in here are around 20 feet up, sometimes more.
Okay. This is cast righteous might on myself.
Okay.
Fenrith smash.
Yeah. This is why Fenrith doesn't have a family.
Trying to find a spell that lets me see in a location that's super low level. So that way when I go into stone, I can have it outside of the stone. There's a druid one.
So there's righteous might on you.
Let me see through stone, which would work, but I don't
Do you
have
want
access to
to
that.
increase my size?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Didn't there used to be like a floating eye of some sort that you could send out?
Yeah, the one I was looking at took 10 minutes to cast, so it's not
Oh.
like a...
Yeah.
That said, there's a 4th level spell that will allow me to see through deeper darkness, and so I'm thinking about starting to prepare those.
Okay. So there you go. You increase in size, and anything else for you?
No, that should be it for this turn.
Okay. Graham.
So, directed at Fenrith, I'll say, are you sure you want to give up on this chest?
As we may have to. We may be forced from the area.
Then I'll say, son of a raven, and I'll put my thieves' tools away.
Okay.
And that's my turn, because I'm still slowed.
Okay, so that first child crawls 10 feet closer, and another one comes behind it. And then roll on down here, the same thing. They crawl 10 feet closer, with their screams echoing, piercing your ears. It's uncomfortably loud at this point. Then we have Rohan.
All right, so now that we've got that spell in place, I will target that guy, or that small child, and I'm going to attack it. All right, so yeah, full volley of arrows at it.
Okay.
Oh, it rolled it twice. So yeah, the first round was a 20, a 9, a 22, and an 8. If any of those would have hit. It looks like the 20 and the... Wait, that's weird.
Hang
We
on.
have the weeping woman targeted still.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
I pushed the clear all targets button, so I don't know why.
Here, I'll also clear all targets. But yeah,
You still have her targeted.
Yeah, sometimes if like a token's removed before you have a chance to untarget it, it won't untarget it.
Okay. All right, so I'll untarget her
Okay.
for you.
So for the...
Okay, so then you shot a volley of arrows at number 4.
Yeah, it looks like the 20 hit.
Well, hang on, because for whatever reason, it did not have them as prone like it should. So let's see what their AC actually would be.
What is prone for him in this case? Would it be a cover bonus as
Provide
such?
like a
or is it
I thought it
circumstance?
provided like a 2 or a 4 bonus.
It'd be 4 to range, but
If it's
Justin
a
has
cover bonus, then it
Yeah.
doesn't
No,
apply to
it's,
me.
No, it's not. It's just
Circumstance bonus.
yeah. And that would have put their AC at 23. So would any of yours hit?
The last one, is 25. Or wait, yeah, attack 25 at the number 4, and
Oh, wait, sorry. I wasn't really listening when I just spat out an answer there. Because if it could be a...
I don't see that it makes any sort of. It doesn't give it any kind of bonus. It's just.
Okay, so yeah. All right, so...
yeah, it looks like one. I got a 25 on one of them.
That cracks me up. That means that Justin can hit a target through an arrow slit at like his max range with no problem,
Yeah.
in theory. But if that person laid down on the other side of that arrow slit, it would become immensely harder.
All right, so if one of them hit, go ahead and roll damage.
Well, then I wouldn't even be able to see him.
If you could, Justin,
Yeah.
if you could see them laying down would make it where it would be a bunch harder for you to hit
All
them.
right.
So you shouldn't be prone. I don't know why I put it on you.
3, 4, 5.
Things are... Fantasy Grounds is running pretty slow.
Yeah, this last update seems to have.
It looked like
Messed
3
it
of
up a little
those
bit.
hit at Teriyaki 4.
Yeah, but with the updated AC, they wouldn't have.
Yeah, because he had rolled his attack twice on accident. So the first set...
Well, it split it between the Weeping Woman and the Tianaka,
yeah.
and yeah, all the hits were on the Weeping Woman, unfortunately.
All right, so one arrow does thunk into the bulbous head of this baby that's crawling towards you, and it gives a shocked cry of increased fervor. And you were firing at 4?
Yeah,
Let me put it on there. So that would have been...
Everybody gasp and shame Rohan for shooting the bulbous dead child. I thought more of you than this.
I am
Done it
immune
before.
to your shame.
And let's see, is there any... No. Okay. All right. So, so you hit one of them, and it cries louder. Casimir, your move, you see Rohan fire an arrow down that way, and one of the cries changes briefly, but your turn.
All right. I will move over to there. Will that allow me to see down that direction far enough? It will. Maybe. I can't see any. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, you can see them down there. 2 of them. And,
95.
yeah.
Oh no. I'm out of magic missile. Whatever will I do? I will do nothing. I will ready if anything gets close to me that isn't one of my friends, and I'll ready an attack. So that's what I'll do. I'll just watch this thing slowly crawl towards us.
Okay. All right, so that is Casimir, and then that's...
Who wants to put money on these babies exploding and reduced to 0?
Wow.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it as we walked into a horror movie here.
I'm telling you, they're going to explode and put like mass Gaius quest on us, then we'll have to take care of them and their mother for the rest of
for
our life.
18 years.
Well, they don't ever age out of...
Right.
Yeah.
It's until you can, however you get rid of that.
So all of you feel like some magical energy settling down over you.
Oh, can I use a hero point on that?
Well, you don't need to,
Okay.
but it slips away, and you're not sure what it was, but you felt it recently quite a few times. So,
Do you still have flame arrows, Justin?
I have.
and Fenrith, that brings us to you.
You want to take a look at Blade Barrier for me real quick and tell me if you think if I put it down the hallway, just like in a line, would that take up the entire area? Because the way that I'm reading this, I think I could make it 20 feet long with that radius where it would take up the entire entire hallway area. Because it's 20 feet high as well, which means every time they try to move through it, every 5 feet, they should be entering a new portion of it.
So draw the line where you want to put it.
So it'd be kind of like this, where it would go here, but also like, get back up to where I was saying it.
Oh, you're talking about down there?
Well, just as an example, right? Like if it goes there, but more of a, let's see, because it says that it's up to 20 feet long per level.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it doesn't have the extra 5 feet, so I would have to get 2 of them down that way, like one for each side, correct?
Yeah, but it would cover most of the space. There are sections of that tunnel where the ceiling is higher than 20 feet, but the wall goes up 20 feet. So
am I also right? Like if you're moving down this, every 5 feet you take, would you take damage from that?
yeah, right, because you're not moving out of it; you're moving further into it.
Okay. As I could extend it for the entire hallway and kill
He's gonna
us
blade
too.
bury us all.
And so, is that what you're gonna do?
Because I will put it. No, hold on. There. Well, sorry, one to the right, and
Okay.
I'll shout out to do not move forward down that hallway, Rohan or Casimir.
We can see it.
Stay where you were at.
Brandon ruled that that it's not invisible.
Okay.
We can see it.
So I'll cast it there.
Okay. All right. So yeah, blade barrier springs up in that space there, down that stretch of the hall, and then so just hit the cast button. So
Yeah, and then I'm going to also move that way.
okay. All right. So anything else for you?
Nope, that should be it.
Okay. Okay. So then, Graham, that brings us to you.
Okay, that was against the ones to the north, right, John? Or
No,
did you do them
he put the barrier
Down to the
south.
south.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll put my signet ring up and holler out, Ice Storm, and cast that from there.
Oh, you should put a wall of ice opposite that blade barrier so it forces them to go through it, Grant.
And I can't see there yet, so you have to give me some time.
Well, I will tell you, or ask you if you can put up a wall of ice.
What is this?
No.
Why did I do a caster level
weeping
check?
woman. You targeted the weeping woman.
Okay. No, I was just wondering what it wanted a caster level check for. I think it's on every spell.
No, she has spell resistance, if I remember right. Doesn't it do that?
Yeah.
Do the children need the spell resistance one?
No, I don't think they have it.
Okay. Well, if they do, I rolled a 22 for it.
Can you see them up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're up here too.
No, they
Do
don't
you
have
have a lightning wall, Justin? Or Rohan?
I have a wind wall that will do absolutely nothing to these things. Actually, they're small, aren't they?
So it just does some damage, and then it makes the terrain difficult, and there's sleet and snow.
it. Okay.
Here's the damage. Oh, I suppose I should target them, huh? Sorry about that. And then here's the effect, minus to perception, and obviously you'll have to manage the terrain yourself, but...
All right. What's the name of that spell?
Ice Storm,
Okay.
or as my son would call it, Isk. It's a hard one to correct. I'm like, no, it's ice. He's like, yeah, Isk. No, ice. I think I'll eventually have him, he'll just say ice when he's an adult.
Hey, excuse me, can I get some ice?
All right. So while you're waiting for your next turn, change that spell because you've got it set up to do. Oh yeah, you've got it set 3d6 plus 2d6 cold. I wonder why it just lumps it all together.
Because it's just in one effect.
Yeah, but
It's not really lumped together, though, is it?
when it
No, I mean it
affects
shows
them.
different dice, but like when it rolls, when the roll animation comes through, but it looks like doesn't really separate it on your
Like you wanted
damage.
it. Are they going to reduce it?
No, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, so yeah, you cast that, and then so the hailstones just appear out of the air and start slamming down on the babies, and they continue their cries. But then there's like a sheet of ice on the ground too that they're trying to claw at. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it. And that-
If I can make one suggestion, teach him the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, I'm singing it already. It lasts a number of rounds. Or use the caster level of the ring. So 15, I guess it would be.
Okay. All right. So then, with that happening, then with the ice on the ground, then you see that these two on to the north, they take flight and zip towards you.
Not the intended effect.
Yeah, no, they don't change like their orientation. They just rise up into the air, and they were crawling very slow, but now flying, they move very quickly. So we'll take the prone off there.
I'm like unintended consequences, the person.
Rohan, if Fire Emblem taught us anything, we need you up to the north.
Oh, because they're flying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad that
Oh, they're flying.
that no one's asked the question of what is the prone bonus.
Oh, I know, I had a hard time finding it too. Like what type?
It almost has to be cover, right?
Oh, I see an argument for circumstance too, because nothing is covering the shot, right?
Well, you're
Take
reducing
You're just
this,
reducing your
Attack
profile.
of opportunity against that one.
No, it's charging you.
but just cracks me up like that. Like at max range,
Oh, because of your reach.
Justin can hit a guy behind an arrow slit easier than he could a guy laying on
Yeah.
top of like the battlement.
Oh,
I guess you just
sorry.
practiced it more.
No, it's one of those like it could be
Just
like
take
a
the first one.
circumstantial
Okay, that's a hit.
cover bonus.
Is it going to try and roll? Oh, no, okay, because it said miss on the second.
Well, it doesn't give you a reflex bonus,
Okay.
which most
So
cover ones.
it zips towards you, and you slash at it as it gets close, and you do some pretty good damage to it. But then it'll do an attack against you, basically just with a bite
Flying demon babies.
or
Graham, I'm blaming this on you.
Sorry.
Maybe changing the wording of the actual feat would probably then be in order because like he can hit something if he can see it, regardless of its cover.
but
Well,
his attack
in theory.
misses.
Yeah.
Right? If he can make the shot, he
It
can make the
bites
shot.
the shield.
Yeah, but then the second one zips down there and will attack you as well. Just takes flight and just shoots straight towards you.
Oh, sorry.
And this one will also try to bite you.
Man.
It got a bunch of snot covering its face.
No, I mean it's it's undead, so there's not like a lot of fluids, but it's still crying as it shoots towards you there. So
Imagine the echo inside that helmet.
Probably the helmet's helping you a little bit compared to what we're getting.
As I had him modify it and put those old horns that people used to use
So you
as
hear it
hearing
really
aids.
well.
Yeah, so I hear really well.
so that but that one misses as well. It's not able to get through your armor with its jagged teeth there. Down south,
Did.
Rohan, down south you can see these two. They were crawling that direction, but that wall came up, and they stop, and you see them take flight as well, but they just turn around and leave, and disappear around the corner.
Not the intended effect, but probably something that'll come back to screw us over later on.
Yeah, almost certainly.
And especially with how quick they move while flying, it seems.
And then Rohan, that brings us to your turn.
All right, once I see that they're flying, I'm going to move up to here.
Take that effect off and see if it speeds things up a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. That really seemed to.
I'm not sure if that's
to
what's
hamper
slowing it
some of
down. But
And
we'll see.
I'm going to.
Menus seem to be working like normal at this point.
Yeah, I
Not
think the
getting any
problem
stutter
is
with them.
the problem is the map is too damn big because it's got that whole other section that you guys went
Oh,
through.
yeah.
I didn't split it up like I should have. All right, so Rohan, where are you going?
So I'm going to move there, and I'm going to cast Wind Wall there. Small creatures cannot pass through it while flying,
Okay.
just in case they try and circle around somehow.
Okay. All right, so you move over there and cast that, and then the wind starts blowing, and that echoes off of the tunnel walls as well. So now there's a wailing of wind and crying of the dead babies. And Casimir, that brings us to your turn.
And the wailing of the woman.
Yeah, she can still be heard somewhere back there.
This makes the most beautiful music ever.
Oh man, this is going to be fun because I don't have precise shot. I'm going to throw my trident at that baby using Hand of the Apprentice.
Okay.
The way that was is so nonchalant. Throw my trident at that baby.
It's a cultural thing.
Good lord.
It is. It must be.
Robin's been doing it for
Okay.
generations.
That's a hit.
Oh, okay.
Baby fishing.
There you go.
All right, yeah, so this trident goes sailing past Fenris' shoulder and skewers
Nice
the
hit.
baby there, and
Yeah.
that one gives
Very
like a squeak as almost like air escaping from a dog's chew toy, and then falls to the floor and splatters and at your feet there.
Does the trident return to you with the baby impaled on it?
Oh, I don't know. It's like a. It's like I think it's like returning. I don't. Does that just reappear in hand? Or
Yeah,
is
it
Yeah, it's
does,
like a.
Yeah, beginning of next turn, right?
Yeah.
I think I'll have to go look at it some more.
I think you have to keep a free action open to grab it.
All right, anything else for you, Casimir?
That's my turn. So because it's basically a giant fork, does that mean it works like Snake's fork from Metal Gear Solid 3, and I automatically eat whatever I skewer with it?
All right, Fenrith, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna full attack this last one here.
Ooh, potential critical. Oh,
Yeah, it's just a free action. to
critical
catch it
hit.
on your next turn.
Dude, you
What
Didn't-
is happening?
he just destroyed the baby.
I don't know if that is correct. Why is it rolling 3d6?
Well,
'Cause
you
you're
got a
big.
burst, right?
I do, but like the critical might be right, but the regular doesn't look right to me. It should be 2d6 plus 1d6 plus 8. It's almost like it's rolling damage.
If you're
'cause this would
big.
have an 8. Do I get an
Remember-
extra d6 for being big?
Your
It
sword
shouldn't.
goes up in class.
Yeah, it changes
it goes
from a
from a
D8
one-
to a 2d6.
To a 2d6, yeah.
And
But the effect shouldn't have a 2d6 either, though.
Oh,
Well, because you've got that because
Holy.
it's the holy.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
I
what's that
completely
effect
forgot
called?
I had that on it. That's my Holy Lance, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holy Lance.
Okay.
nice.
All right, yeah, sorry, that makes more sense.
All right. So basically you just destroy this thing, you obliterate it, and it falls to the floor in a puff of dust
That was almost 100 damage in
at
one
your feet
round.
there.
Fenrith don't like undead. And just think I didn't even use divine power yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hope
So-
Mom doesn't come back.
Make sure to put the. All right, and then Graham, your turn.
Do you guys want me to ice up that passage down there? The other one?
Right now it's got entangled and a blade barrier.
Yeah, maybe put one down.
No, the
There's
one
another,
to that travels to the east. That
Yeah.
looks like it's open.
the
Oh, the
one
one we
that
came from?
Rohan's next to.
Yeah, just in case they're trying to circle around.
Yeah, I would say let's make it to where we can only get attacked one direction at this point.
I can't dismiss the ice wall if I put it up, though.
How about
That's
I
fine,
do
we don't need
wind
to go
wall
back that
instead?
Okay.
Wind wall will keep them from flying through, but we can pass through.
The
What
ice
if they
storm I
start
can
to crawl,
dismiss.
though?
Then they'll be very slow at it.
Maybe leave that going for a bit. How long do you
Yeah.
think it'd take you to get back on that chest action?
I think I had a few more rounds.
Yeah.
You're like,
There's,
rounds?
I think we got a little bit of time we've given ourselves. I'm sure
Son
that
of
this
a
is
raven.
the key to destroying these things.
This is
Right,
your
why else would it
faith-based
be right
thinking
here?
is going to lead us astray.
Well,
What reason do
nope.
you have for that?
hey, heretical thinking has never led anyone astray, okay?
No, I said faith-based. You're being
yeah,
not a heretic. All right. Well, I just put these away. I'll pull out my thieves' tools and take a 5-foot back towards the trap that I was working on. Does my timer restart, or can I take up where I left off?
Yeah, you'll have to do a whole new check.
Son of-
Should I just walk through it?
Well, I'm not certain that would be advisable.
I'm not sure what it does.
He told me last time, but I forget now. It's usually not good, though.
I'll just remember you getting impaled by the door outside of, what was his name? The Minotaur's room.
Or falling in a pit trap and going
Yeah.
on an entirely separate adventure.
There's that one too.
Okay.
Or the time you opened the wardrobe and got stabbed a bunch of times. And
Yeah, there was that too. So it's either you're going to fall or you're just going to get stabbed a lot.
But as I'm still slowed, Brandon,
Yeah.
taking the tools out is my turn.
Has anybody got some fast juice?
All right. And then, so you move up there, and then suddenly the sounds of the babies and the woman cease. And now you're left with just the echo of the wind from Rohan's wind wall. And then, Rohan, that'll bring us to you.
okay, I think I'm actually just gonna stop and wait for a second, and have that kind of have my head turned a little bit so I can try and hear in the different directions, see if there's any motion or anything.
Okay.
That's not a bad idea. We could get all cracked out here and just blitzkrieg this whole dungeon. Try to do it in under 20 rounds. I think that's what I'm good for on my haste.
Yeah, I got 10. I'm not sure if I have it back yet, though. I have a tough time.
Keeping track of time.
Yeah, I think I do. I think we had a rest between the last time I used it.
Yeah, Fenrith's all got used up, though,
I haven't used mine.
because it was activated while he was trying not to choke to death. So
Mine's AoE. That's why I'm in the party.
Oh, nice.
Because I needed to keep
Haste
them free actions.
Gotta haste whore it up.
all right, so you're just waiting and listening, Rohan?
Yeah,
All right, Casimir.
I'm going to move to, come on, there. And I will prepare to cast haste if things start acting up again.
Okay. All right. And then Fenrith.
As I'm going to, already in action for if I see any more weeping women or crying babies.
Okay.
Fenrith doesn't tolerate crying.
Well, you see what I did to that one. I'm not proud of it, but I don't tolerate undead babies.
I don't tolerate undead. I don't tolerate babies.
Yeah, the problem, though, Fenris, is you're like a Catholic priest and you use the power of Christ, we don't see nothing happen. But if you're worshiping Coralon, you do 100 damage to a baby.
Yep.
Coralon hates them babies.
Corlon doesn't like babies either. Why do you think elves live so long?
All right. And then Graham.
Okay, let's get a new test for you in the tower,
All right.
and I'll get back to work.
Okay. So this time you get back to work at it, but you do see like there's some things that you catch this time that you hadn't caught last time. So you think you'll do better at it this time.
Okay.
So that means either you rolled a 1 last time and you were going to spring the trap, or you rolled a 1 this time, and now you're going to spring the trap.
That'd be a particularly cruel way of doing it if you fail the roll to spring it after you go through all the rounds. I like it.
Well, that's how I was doing it.
I did it. Yeah.
I think I'd do it based on how bad they failed.
Well, I think you don't actually spring it unless you fail bad.
Mm.
Right. Yeah. But if you did roll a 1, that would be a good way to do it. Yeah. So it looks like it's going to take you 6 rounds to disable it. JK.
Which is kind of weird because like you'd kind of figure like differently, but I think rolling a 1, I'd make you go through all the rounds and then spring it. Where if you like failed by like just enough, it'd be like instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember right, you didn't get that big of a buffer. It's like if you fail by 5 or more, I usually fail.
Okay, and then so you're still working on that, and then everybody do a perception.
Will this allow Fenrith to perceive that we're judging him for killing those babies? Or does
I seem to remember I tried forking one of them pretty
his
It
god?
wasn't 100 damage.
It just brings
True.
up
There's a quarter of that.
that error screen again when I try and hit the perception.
Casimir's a humanist. He only did a quarter of the damage these religious fanatics
It
do.
didn't work this time.
He only killed the baby just enough to kill it.
No, I'm going to
Okay.
blame his god and zealousness for corrupting my mind in that moment. It was him that drove me to it.
All right, so all of you, like the sound had disappeared of the weeping woman and the babies, and so there was just the sound of the wind and your own sounds echoing through the walls. But now, Rohan and Fenrith, as you're waiting around and listening, you both hear a new sound that is coming from the south, that direction. And this sound is like something being dragged across stone. And there's some clanking as well, like metal on metal.
Is it kind of reminiscent of those armored skeleton warriors?
No, it's different from that. It's like the clanking has a bit of a higher pitch to it.
Doesn't sound like those chain demons, does it?
Let's see, what did...
I hate those things.
Not as much as
Well, actually-
something that we've heard before, right?
Actually, it really does remind you of the chain devils.
Okay.
It actually really, that's the closest thing you've ever heard to match the sound. So, yeah.
man, I should have gone into that prestige class just to mess with Rohan.
Oh,
I think it's the only thing that's dropped to you so far, right?
no, that was the spike demon.
Oh yeah, the
You figure those would be the ones you hate.
barbed devil.
Yeah. They're just
Yeah, I think
spiny jerks. The chain devils are the ones that like the torture and the maliciousness.
That show you like weird stuff.
Yeah, they're the horror vision things.
Maybe you never gave the Spike Devils a chance.
I don't plan on giving them a chance if I have a choice in the matter. They just run up and spear hug you.
Oh, I'm also changing my defense. It's John's radicalized sermons have caused me to convert to a new religion that is lesser known, but just as radical.
Couldn't see through it until you had that moment of clarity after
Until
you
I
speared
killed the baby, and now I'm
Yeah.
completely remorseful and changing my
What
ways.
have I done?
And I'm denouncing Fenrith's himself and his religion for the horrible actions.
Time to. As our next one is going to be a crusade against each other.
Excommunicado.
Well, that's sectarian violence is the next step.
Yep, as there's only room for one religion in Cradle. And
Actually,
that's
it
Horvath
probably
Baratheon.
should be him excommunicating me, right?
Okay. And so back to you, Rohan. So now that sound is gone as well. But you did hear it.
But that was coming from the south.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to you.
All right.
That's your truth.
I'll walk up to the edge of where I have my entangle still and
You're about to get sucked in.
try and see if I can make out what's making that sound.
Okay.
We're on a ship hunting an alien. Let's get near the edge of the light and go and stick our head into the darkness so we can see if the alien's here.
All right. So, like I said, that sound is now you're not hearing it, but you did hear it.
Hey, you guys hear that? Sounds like a creepy demon. I'm gonna walk off this way and double check.
Well, I've got
I'll
a
be
giant
right
blade
back.
barrier and a bunch of entangling vines between me and whatever's down there. So
Yeah, you'd never fall into a meat grinder of tangling vines and blades.
yeah,
That would never happen in a Hellraiser movie.
this is starting to feel more and more like a Hellraiser movie of some sort. I guess not Hellraiser. What would be a better?
And we're not done yet. It might turn into one.
I think this is like Hostel, only the monsters are coming to the place to get tortured, and we're the torturers.
Yeah.
We actually just paid the mayor a lot of money
Isn't
to
that
have this experience.
isn't that closer
Well,
to
so we're the
Devil's
Cenobites?
Rejects?
Right. I guess that would be Devil's Rejects. Yeah.
No, we're the sheriff from Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay.
Right. We just enjoy this more than the chitin, or was it? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
The chitin, the chain devil.
Probably it's Kyotin,
No.
and we've been saying it wrong our whole lives.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. That's Rowan, and then Casimir.
I'll continue to hold
Okay.
like the good little soldier I am.
All right. Let's see this. You guys have such bad luck.
I love when they give examples of
Yeah.
speech like that.
That's not.
Chitin. Chitin is pronounced chitin. Thanks, Google.
All right. So all of you feel the
Triton.
familiar magical energy settling over your shoulders, but it slips away yet again.
Wow, Graham, nice.
And Fenrith.
He's determined not to fall under another spell.
All right.
Be careful. Don't strain too hard.
I know. Like, what is happening? Something bad's going to happen when we're done playing then.
All right. They're trying to psych
So-
us out, Fenrith. I say we crack up, I'll cast haste, and we just go through everything.
We just speed run it.
Yeah.
'Cause,
We need that flame shield, too, that the horse had on it.
yeah.
Hey, haste and flame shield.
Well, we got to hold till Graham gets whatever's in that
Oh,
treasure
yeah.
chest.
That's
Sorry.
part of the rush. You're going to kick the
Yeah.
tools out of my hand, run through the trap.
Just smack you.
Well, now we need Fenrith to like lose patience and just go
'Cause
running
I can,
across the trap.
I can just continuous cast burning hands, and somebody can carry me.
Dude,
Two
let's
people
do
can carry me.
meld flesh to stone and start breaking some of these like rocks off, and we can make a vehicle out of Fenrith and fuse it with him, and he can cast the burning hands.
Nice.
So let's rewire our brains. That's really thinking, actually.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that will help Graham out of his slowness here.
That also
They've
fits
been
with us
looking
being
through
the Cenobites.
everything.
I think 5 more rounds ought to do it. That'll help.
Okay.
Then I'll be done being slowed.
Which is only 30 seconds. It's not a huge
Yeah,
amount of time.
but
It just feels like a long time.
When you live your life 1 round at a time, that's too long.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll continue to let's see, go 5 foot forward here. See if I can see a little bit around this corner. What did I hear, Brandon? Did I hear the same thing as Justin?
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, I'll was 5 foot up there, and then I will hold as well, ready in
Okay.
action.
All right.
Dude, I wonder what I'd need to do to start putting like the magical equivalent of cyberware into you guys. Where it's like I don't know, like magical fibers that are making your muscles and
Right.
stuff like that move. Is that way you're permanently hasted? That'd be fun. I guess I could just try to make haste permanent, but I don't think I can.
That's why you're going to need the cyberware.
Well, cyberware quotes.
Necroware.
I'd be fine with that too. All right, Graham, we're going to do a little experiment. Bite down on this piece of leather, and we'll begin shortly. How will I know when you start?
You'll know.
complete spinal column and synapse replacement.
And then we can ride into the village on our Fenrith car.
Dude, it'll be
Necro
freaking
wear
awesome.
that.
Yeah. Like,
Necropunk.
dude, I like that. That's a new genre. Let's go with it.
Trademark.
Yeah, like I could completely see that. Like, maybe soup up some of those floating discs and meld those into parts of him, so that way he's floating constantly.
We're starting to create our own psychological horror.
Dude, like that cop was right in the Joker. You just got to enjoy it more than they do.
Yeah.
And he was lawful good. Literally, he's the law. He's like a dwarf. Which is something else we could do. We could all polymorph ourselves into dwarves, so everything we do is lawful and good. And because of how they changed polymorph, or like shape changing now, we would gain the Dwarven Beard Network.
Nice.
All right. So, Graham?
Another round at the disabling the device.
All right. So that did it. So this device is disabled now. And so the little door set into the stone flaps open, and you can see that there's a coiled rope
Okay.
up in the ceiling. But
Yeah, so I'll make sure it's not going to work, and I'll tell the rest of them that I got it. And I guess that'll be my turn. The last round was disabling it.
They're
so.
all gathering in the corners you can't see in
Right.
that area.
So I'll take I guess I have a free action left, so I'll take a 5-foot, test it. Yep. But I failed well enough that I only think I did it. Subcultures have pride about their subculture. D&D needs that, I think. Like, like if you watch Fast and the Furious, how Vin Diesel's like, I live my life 1/4 mile at a time, and a lot of people are like, me too. We need that sort of stuff. T-shirts. I live my life 1 round at a time. What others can you think of?
That reminds me, I was wearing the Cthulhu shirt you got me.
Yeah.
And I was at the grocery store, and there was a woman like staring at it, and then she looked at me, and she had this weird expression on her face. Like, I don't know if I should be around this person.
Well, that's the problem with the sayings when you're doing the role-playing games, is they're so specific
Yeah.
that nobody can make sense of them
what
unless they
is-
know.
Please
I've been failing all my sanity rolls.
illuminate here.
Yeah, the shirt says, I've been failing all my sanity rolls lately. But, yeah.
Maybe there are, and I just reject them because I'm like, I'm not a nerd. Plays D&D.
In denial.
But yeah, the look on her face was just great because like it was confusion mixed with a little bit of fear.
Concern. Well, you
Okay.
sometimes look like you could be failing your
so,
sanity rolls.
so you've disabled that, and now, Graham, you hear like an odd sound coming from like the northern direction. It's hard to, but it's faint, and there's a lot of competing sounds. But you hear something sounds like a dog's nails on a wood floor, maybe like tick 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 tick, coming from the northern direction. But no other sounds do you hear at this point. And
I'll raise the alarm about it.
well, no, you're slowed. You can't. Just kidding.
He just talks like
Maybe
Rocky.
you're right. I forget, there's a limit on free actions.
What?
I think this one's Game Master Fiat on how many you
It
get.
is,
Yeah. So, hey, that's what you say.
No, you can.
I would have told you.
I like just thinking that you kind of talk like Rocky. You go, oh, let's see, you normally talk like this. So now you kind of talk like this.
All right,
Okay.
it'll take me a second to get back in. I apparently knocked the plug out and my laptop shut down.
Oh.
Yeah, my
Hey, yo, Fenrith, there's a dog coming.
So the rest
try
of
to
you are
minimize
shocked
the
Yeah.
accents.
to see Rohan strips all of his clothes off and begins doing a dance.
Better get back quick.
It's
no
the
time
super
for that.
secret light tower dance.
He's giving you all a really smoky look.
This is what you've been doing alone.
What do you think lights the tower?
Yeah. Why do you
I
think
I can't think.
Okay, so back to it. Ron, your turn.
All right. Still don't see anything?
No.
And did I hear any of the noise coming from the other direction?
Nope.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just stay where I'm at and ready an attack action.
Okay. All right. So you're ready in an attack. And Casimir.
Gonna continue to ready haste
Okay.
if anything appears. That's part of the problem with rounds, is it feels like it's been so much longer than it actually is. Was this like third, fourth round since they all vanished on us?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it like 20 seconds, 40 seconds?
Yeah. About that.
Why we can never get on with the commoners, because they're never in combat, so they don't understand our impatience.
So essentially, we're the Flash. We're living our lives in rounds, but we don't go any faster. But the commoners are doing the same thing. They just don't care. So they're just like, takes me 400 rounds to build this piece of armor.
Yeah, they just don't have that metric.
Oh my God, haste.
Okay. All right, so that's well, maybe make the roll here. Okay, and then Fenrith, it's your turn now. So the last thing you heard was that chain sound, but you haven't heard that sound again since then.
Here's the part I'm worried about. My back's to a wall. I'm gonna get sucked in.
Well, if any of us getting sucked into a wall, you're the one that could survive it the best.
It's all
Not really.
a little bit more forward, and then I'll
Yeah, you could go to here.
okay. So yeah, 5 foot forward, and then ready again.
All right. So you step 5 feet forward. You're not hearing or seeing anything else. There's still that ice storm blowing there in the tunnel, icing up everything. And then let's move your visibility purge there. Graham.
Okay, I'll walk up to the chest and prepare to search it for traps.
All right.
We don't have time for this. Just open it.
Says the man who triggered chain lightning.
Yeah. And
Yes.
almost fell into that pit that one time.
Because you were moving your token around the room.
Yep.
That's how you get searches in between the rounds.
All right. So yeah, you move up to the chest there, and you can see that it is pretty large, like large enough that you could probably fit in it, to give you some perspective. And it's the standard chest that you would think with, made of wood banded with, metal. And there are some parts of the metal that have started to rust, but other parts have not. They still seem to actually repel even dust. And you can tell just by your experience that those are like, there's some mithril is what it looks like for those bands or whatever. But then some of it's just normal steel that's began to oxidize over however long it's been here. Though it still seems solid. Now the wood parts also are covered pretty heavily in dust. So no one's been messing with it for quite a long time. But
Anyone want to put bets on if the chest is a mimic or not?
I'm going to say no.
Or how much? I mean, we don't actually need to even probably track it, I guess. But
Yeah.
so Justin's a no. Fenrith,
What's going on?
is the chest a mimic? Yes or no? We're putting bets. I'll take it as a no.
He has to consult the
Oh.
statistics.
Yes, it is.
Okay, he's going yes. I'll say yes too.
I'll have to say no, because if I thought it was a mimic, I wouldn't open it. Never bet against yourself.
I see.
That's what some drunk guy told me one time.
Yeah. I got told never to bet with the house, and I got everyone angry at the craps table. No.
okay. And then let's see back. Let's see. So Everybody roll another perception.
Is the chest right there, or is it in the actual room, Travis?
Oh, you can't see. It's
Okay.
to the south.
Oh,
part
sorry,
of the
that
room.
was not in the tower.
I was just wondering because you hadn't moved yet on my map,
What's
so
going on with this?
I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep you all in vision so that way I can haste you.
Yeah, if you move up a bit, you'll be able to see it. But
Okay, Graham, you hear that tick tick sound again. Either it's faster or there's more than one now. That sound of metal tapping on, or claws tapping on stone is the best way to describe it. And then Rohan, from the south, you hear that chain sound again, clanking and dragging.
Okay.
Now,
we'll just find a PA system hooked up to a spooky sound CD.
Yeah.
Rohan, it's your turn.
The baby we just killed and the
They could
woman
also
were
be
just
illusory
actors.
sounds. Yeah, I'll move back to here so I can kind of keep an eye down all of the three of the southern passages. The one directly south and then the ones east and west.
Okay.
And keep one attack action readied.
All right. And then
The 2x2 cover, guys.
Who's the first person to say nope and break the thing that Fenrith gave us and go home?
I guess I could do it.
I think you did last game session. You just didn't actually break the thing and go home.
I kind of wanted to, but...
I think when we first saw your mother.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
No. Dude, if I'd known I'd die on the second round, I probably would have too.
yeah.
Okay, Casimir, back to you. Same thing.
Yeah, but I'll first move to there and then ready haste.
Okay. And then make this roll here. All right. And then Fenrith.
Do I
So-
hear anything this time?
No, you didn't. Just the sound of the wind wall echoing and the ice storm up ahead of you.
Okay. As I'll continue to stay vigilant and watch.
Now, Travis, that ice storm, does it continue being a storm the whole duration, or is the damage just the first round and then after it's icy ground?
My read on it is the damage is just part of the initial effect, and then afterwards it's just the vision and movement.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
Effects.
it's just icy ground up there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Fenrith, you're staying there?
Yep.
Do we
As just keep ready to action going.
Okay.
do we die of cuteness when the babies try to crawl across the ice and fall?
Okay, Graham.
Until they start floating
All right,
and
so the
demon
search
teeth
for
pop
traps
out.
begins, but I gotta split it up over a couple of rounds, so due to my slowed state. So here,
Well, no, you shouldn't be slowed anymore. And you know what else? Someone else had an effect that should have. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's tracking properly. But based on the round count, you didn't get re-slowed.
I don't know. It just says I have 3 left on the duration.
No.
Did it reset?
I don't know what it did, but aren't slowed
Okay.
anymore.
Well, then I'll full round action perception this chest for traps, discern if it's locked, all those sorts of things. If it's a mimic, an all-in-one perception.
The all-perceiving.
Open my eyes as wide as I can.
So you're looking at that, trying to see, is it trapped? Is it locked? Is it a mimic or whatever? And you're not able to detect any traps. You can't tell if it's locked without actually. Well, yeah, you can. There's going to be a lock on it. It does not look at all to you as if it's a mimic, but then would it?
No.
But you do happen to notice that there is a slight discoloration in the ground around it that seems to be too symmetrical for it just to be a natural effect.
God doesn't build in straight lines. Coralon doesn't build in straight lines. Sorry, Fenrith. I'll perceptualize that and see if that's a trap at my next opportunity, or that's what I'm determining is what you're telling me then.
No, basically, like you get you catch that and think you should
Look
take a
further.
closer look. Yeah.
Okay.
Bust
Well,
out the spoon.
I'll do that next round. Get the long spoon ready.
And then
Long spoon boy.
okay, and then Rohan, back to you.
Still here, or still see nothing?
Yeah, you're not seeing anything down there, and not hearing anything besides that chain sound.
All right.
Man, I'm getting that feeling.
I don't really have.
What was it? Was it Pitch Black or whatever? The one with Vin Diesel back in the day when the guy's trapped alone and his lights are dying,
Yeah.
and then he
Sparks
spits that
up again,
fire.
yeah.
And you see everything. I think that's what's happening, right?
I'm gonna cast shield on myself this round.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't target myself.
Man,
Does that mean targeting?
It'll be the maximum amount of silver that can fit in this chest when I pop it open. And I'll pop it open right when the swarm's
Right,
about
so I
to
don't
descend
want to
on
put
me.
it on.
so it will gleam a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
And shield.
good. 600 pounds of silver.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay,
Pump myself up a tiny bit.
it's got it on you. Okay,
Yeah, it looks like it's on me. And yeah.
We might have to just dismiss this stuff.
To escape.
Well, let them either come to us or
Rather than let them form a phalanx of undead. and then
Yeah.
On the other side, waiting.
Right. Link up baby arms,
Although,
guys.
if they do that, then I think we have 2 rods of fire, or we have a rod of fireball and a
I have some fireballs on the necklace.
necklace of fire.
A phalanx of babies would kill us with cuteness, too.
I think the sharpened teeth and dead eyes might negate some of the baby cuteness.
I don't know. We're elves.
Cutify anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, there's only a certain amount of that can.
And then there's this weird thing where ugly crosses over into cute for some people. I won't say who those people are, but
You know who you,
you
are.
know who you are. Should be ashamed.
I do think that rotting baby carcasses.
Who said they're rotten?
Didn't he say that they're partially
Yeah.
rotting?
you know that.
I don't see why you'd
Dead
be any more
bodies, huh?
disturbed by that than going in a shed that's curing meats.
That sounds like the contextual, rationalization of a serial killer.
Dang it. I slipped up.
All right,
The mask fell.
so that
All my brothers are looking at me now.
I think I'd still support him if he was a serial killer.
Who you killing?
Yeah.
Just
His hobbies are his hobbies.
I think it's kind of important. Like, who
it's
you
a
killing?
specific haircut that triggers me.
Oh, okay.
Not a demographic.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just like randos on the green belt, like that's no good. You just can't
okay.
do that.
Casimir.
I think Rohan might have something by beginning the second phase of buffing, but I know the second I drop my ready action, the attack's going to come because that's just how OCD works.
Yeah.
Even though it's not OCD, I guess. But, oh, man. Yeah, I'll ready haste again. I'll keep that going. And then I'll just keep it ready.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Did my light map shift?
Mm-hmm. Mine did too.
Or the map shifted off the light map? One or the other.
Yeah, the map moved.
Thanks, map.
I like to think our eyes stayed in the same place, though. You need to try to incorporate some of those old Red Dead Redemption 1 glitches
Okay.
into Call of Cthulhu.
All right. So then,
Love that game.
man. Okay. And then that'll bring us to Fenrith.
All right. Still nothing hearing, seeing.
Yep.
And it's one of those, like, maybe we should only just drop one. And
Give the word and I can dismiss that ice storm. It's not too bad to go through even without. You won't take any damage or anything. It just slows you.
And the wind wall I have, we can
Yeah,
pass through it without problem.
I think until we're done getting the chest, the item from the chest, we're free. Okay to leave them up. Yeah, let's
1,000
continue
copper.
watching
All right.
and ready in action.
All right. So you sit there and remain ready, and that'll bring us to Graham. And Graham, as it gets to your turn, then suddenly all of the weeping of the babies and the woman, bursts into your ears again, all of a sudden, echoing through the cavern. So all of you hear that, the babies crying and wailing, and then the weeping woman underneath it. But Graham, your turn.
Okay, I'll search that space for the traps. Disable device or perception. The moral of this story won't be that it was any traps laid by man or monster, but our own greed that trapped us in the end.
The temporal distortion to you being so slow, you
All right.
I can think about stuff.
So you're taking a look at that area, and it has one of those effects where, like, the longer you look at something, the harder it is to discern until you start to, believe that there's not really anything to be seen there at all. And so to you, it looks clear, but it is locked.
Okay, well, I guess might as well get this show started. I'll 5 foot to that space I was worried about right before the chest.
All right.
Because I was searching at max distance.
I like to think when you're slowed, your thoughts became more philosophical.
Until this point.
Yeah. God creates, man destroys.
That's why he thinks there's nothing wrong with it, is he got distracted. He's just like, yeah. And then he just steps forward.
Well, I either find it or I don't, Justin. I don't know what you want me to do.
No.
And you can find it after you don't find it. And this is the way you do it.
You are an expert at that part at this point.
Nobody's found as many traps as me. Nobody.
Or you don't move forward, and the answer remains unknown.
Well, that's why I said the moral of the story would be the greed and our own greed. Is what trapped
hubris. Graham's hubris, anyway. I don't have any.
I have the least amount of hubris.
I am also the most humble of my brothers. This is a burden that I alone carry. Being so gracious and humble.
Wait a sec. Are you giving yourself all the qualities of love? You're the Beatitudes? I'm kind. I am patient.
I am, out of all my attributes, the most patient. The only thing I am second to in being most patient is also being humble. I am the second most humble after my own patience.
Casimir is love.
Okay,
so what you're saying is I've elevated to the level of godhood, and that I should absorb the soul.
Yes.
Thank you, Graham. I absolve you of all your... Now watch as I ascend and leave you behind in this cave.
I think I'm about to do the ascending or descending.
Descending?
Or disintegrating. Or being pulverized. Desiccated. Decimated.
Dislocated.
Discombobulated.
Eradicated. Which is eradicated and something that ends in ul.
Yeah, so as you step forward then, a trap is triggered.
Oh?
Tim the tool. Oh?
How did he do that sound? All right, all the kids were doing it back at school in the day. Just before I really watched the show, so I didn't get the reference. Just imagine a group of guys standing around going, oh.
So which one of us is Al, and which one of us is the guy on the other side of the fence?
I don't know. The problem is Al doesn't, he's the qualified guy. The D20 always saps you of qualifications.
Except
at
in
some
use
point.
of skills.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so.
Except when you're a rogue, in which case, even if you have the max ranks in the skill. Probably it was those few points I lost from the perception switch to wisdom instead of intelligence.
All right, so yeah, you step forward then, and then a trap is triggered, and it's a magical trap that emanates from the ground. And so basically it's a touch attack.
See how my touch AC looks. Not good. Not good.
But you're a rogue.
Well,
Do
it's
you have,
15, but...
Trap sense too. To get some
Oh, yeah.
bonuses?
So I think what is that up to these days?
Wait a minute. Just let me pull my trap sense out of my pocket here.
+4. So I guess I have a 19
That's
AC.
pretty dang good for a touch.
In this case.
You want shield? Shields could help.
Hey, Casimir, I just triggered a trap. Could you cast shield on me in the split second before?
Well, now that I've ascended to godhood, these are within my portfolio.
Yeah. There you go.
I could, but I won't, because you have to learn a lesson here, Graham. If you survive, you will be a much better elf than you were before.
I don't think so.
I've done this before.
All right. So this, magical energy bursts out of the ground and washes over you. Do a will save, please.
Right. It's almost like these traps were made.
Do it
for
you
me.
don't even need to do it in the tower, but just roll it. We need a 19.
Yeah, we don't just go for
Oh,
it.
thanks for telling me the goal. Oh, I did it.
Nice.
Nice.
You
Nice.
asked for a 19. I gave you a 19.
What more do you want?
Now you only take half of the horrible effect or something.
Yeah, so you take 55 damage
Ah,
from basically
What happened to me?
a harm spell.
Oh,
The opposite of heal, and so it washes over you, and you take
takes me a 62.
a tremendous amount of damage, and you can feel it. Like no physical damage is apparent, but you feel it wash through you, and
Can I
gives you the notion that you're, like your insides are cooking.
try to pretend like nothing happened?
Try a bluff.
Bluff?
Yeah, it'd be a pretty high. bluff.
he's got
So I'll
blood
start
coming out of
with
his
the-
ears and eyes. So
So I'll start with a woo. Yeah,
Like
got
taking
it.
steps forward.
Yeah.
Getting the chest open. We're doing it.
Oh, they still have sense motive? Yeah, you're going to succeed as long as Fenrith doesn't.
Here's the bluff. 26.
yeah, I don't think I even have a chance of succeeding on a sense motive against that.
Do I get a bonus in damage received on my next attempt to disable it, assuming it resets? So plus 55. I know how that works.
I see.
The
this
harm
one.
comes out of here.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
enters me.
See, watch this. It enters me through.
well, Fenrith can't actually see you. So
Okay.
just Casimir.
Just Casimir.
And Casimir, you recognize the spell.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to play it off, though.
So, I mean, you see that, and you didn't roll this. Okay. So,
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't beat his 26 even with penalty.
Yeah. Well, you recognize the spell, so he's being remarkably tough about it.
That's because the spell has washed over him and has cleansed him of various sin
Yeah.
and has allowed him to grow. Congratulations, Graham.
Thanks.
The smoke just pour out.
Yeah.
Smoke and blood.
Yeah. So, Graham, that's what happens to you.
I like to think that the fibers that connect your skin to your muscle has detached.
Now,
from
I
the
will
spell, so
say
you're kinda-
that with your knowledge of traps and such, that you know that this one will reset automatically.
Okay. I can't remember if there was any time or if it just goes right back to it.
Yeah, let me make sure.
Well, you'd have to re-enter it, right? So maybe
Yeah.
as long as I stand real
Because I am
still.
stuck in that square until my next turn.
As I stand real.
Well, no, I just stepped up,
Yeah,
so I have my action.
you did a
stuff.
5 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll move, but I'll take a move action back a step again, and I'll holler out that I have located a magical trap that I might need some help getting rid of.
Graham, what did you attempt to say? I couldn't hear you through the blood you just vomited.
It's a magic trap. I got like that the waterfall
sorry.
going down my chin.
Sorry, let me.
You're gonna need some of that medication we were talking about earlier.
So, with a spell trap like this, generally they don't reset. And
Okay.
If they do, it's usually like after like 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then I will
So this one's done for now.
hope I didn't miss the one on the chest. Then I'll begin the. You said it was locked.
Yeah.
Then I'll begin the disable device.
You may want to bip yourself with the rod before you begin any lock picking.
I gotta wait till you look away, even though I know you already know, or you already know. Maybe I don't know. Okay, what am I looking at? Here's for the lock.
All right. So you're able to pick the lock easily and open it.
What's inside?
Dude, just put your head in the chest and vomit into it so you can hide it.
So inside this particular chest, you see it's huge. Like I said, you could fit in it comfortably. And laying down on the bottom of it, all alone, is a bracelet.
Guys, there's nothing in this chest except a bunch of blood.
It's a silver bracelet,
Graham, wipe your eyes.
but it has like 4 little things, like little tiny engraved symbols hanging from it on these tiny little chains.
Oh, okay.
Blind activate?
He found a Pandora's
Right.
charm bracelet.
Well, I got it. I don't have any actions left, but yeah, I'll stand up, get ready to head back.
I'll put that in your inventory.
Do you think this blood is
I'll
magical?
show it to him, and where it's sitting in my palm, like blood is welling up around. It's just oozing through my skin.
Yeah, I was going to say your flesh softened from the spell. It just kind of sinks into it.
And when my knuckles brushed the bottom of the chest, they left a crayon of,
Yeah,
of
skin.
finger meat and skin.
Every time you blink, one of your eyelids kind of slightly melts into the other, and then it's torn free. Your teeth are pressing further into your softened bone now, so they're kind of shrinking on you.
You can see yeah, it's not good.
You've ruptured several valves in your heart from the beating alone.
Learned a lesson today.
And
Magic
that lesson
traps,
is
still hard to detect.
this bracelet better be worth it.
Yeah, so I've, I think, put that into your inventory.
Into mine or into the party sheet?
Into yours.
Is it just the unidentified?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, so it's in there.
I'll look around.
Unidentified item.
You did good, Graham. It's okay.
You can rest now.
All right, and
we
then
have to-
so that crying and screeching and wailing and moaning gets louder and louder, but but they don't come into view, at least not yet. And that'll bring us to Rohan.
Yeah, I'll ready for an attack action. Still waiting for the hammer to drop.
All right. So that's Rohan. Let me check on something here.
I think I'm as ready as I can be.
Or maybe it's like radiation damage, and I look like I got a really bad sunburn when I walk back out of that room with the bracelet. Got it.
So I was saying, like your skin's no longer attached to the fibers. So I like to picture that you're kind of like that guy from Men in Black, the roach one,
Yeah.
where everything's just
Moving
kind of.
Anybody else taste metal?
Wow, it sure got bright there for a second. Will the zombies stop attacking you?
Maybe
Because you're
it's a positive energy now.
Yeah, well, you're technically already dead. Don't worry, Casimir and Fenrith will be able to keep you alive for much longer than you should. In fact, the mayor will receive a petition for us to put you out of your misery. But we've learned so much.
Oh, it's negative energy, not positive.
Yeah.
That's right. So if negative's like radiation, then what's positive like?
Well, you kind of pop from it if you go to like the plane and you're not like constantly cutting, basically.
Oh, right. You gotta reduce.
Yeah, so you'd have to figure out what
It's like energy drinks.
you don't pop if you drink too much.
I don't know. We haven't tested that.
I'm sure some people have.
Yeah.
Some of those. I know, like the construction crowd that came in on the mornings back in the day, they would get like a bunch of the tall ones. Pretty sure since they did that every day.
Mm.
Like he'd just drink that and like a hot dog.
Okay.
That's what his diet was.
So, Casimir.
All right. All right. Graham's opened the chest. I think we need to figure out what we're going to do here, is what I'll say.
Okay.
And then I'll also prepare to cast haste if any of these undead out there get brave and decide to attack.
Okay.
Remind me that you guys are targeted. Just in case I decide to start attacking.
Flurry of spear thrusts in every direction.
Including my own.
Yep.
All right, then make this roll here. Lucky you.
Mm.
And then Fenrith, that'll bring us to you.
All right, so if he says that he's got it, then we can figure out how to utilize it later. But we should start moving out. As I would suggest heading north, and we can leave those
All right.
leave those spells active down there to the south and everything. Try and cover us for as much time as we can.
I agree with North. Yay. Graham is unable to speak because his tongue fell out of his mouth.
I lost the powers of speech temporarily.
North was the direction the
Woman fled.
woman fled.
That's who we want to find.
I beg to differ. I don't really want to find her.
In fact, I can't stop thinking about her. Maybe this is some sort of love.
Think so. So now I imagine when she appeared, it was like super horrific music, and he's all turning white, and then we get the Dreamweaver song when she.
That's why you were stunned for so long. You were smitten. It's like, it's my dream woman. Look at that hair.
She can never die.
Choking Fenrith to death, just like I've always dreamed of.
Suffocating him.
Wow, she looks just like Rohan's mom. I always had a thing for it.
All right, so then that'll bring us to Graham. So you've got all this pain racking your body that you're trying to be a tough guy about and not doing too bad of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got this bracelet now, but it's your turn. So what would you like to do?
Cat did more damage to me than that. So I'll very measured step over here and pull the obsidian wand from my belt with my move action and tap it to my forehead with the standard action.
Just caves.
Okay, do a
Did I find another trap square?
do a perception though.
It's where one of those special charges will go off and
Yeah, I'll put some more harm in.
yeah.
Oh, what are you doing, cursor? There we go. That would be funny.
All right. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and do your healing.
Okay, use magic device.
That was a good heal.
Mm-hmm.
That ought to do it for my turn.
All right.
Look, guys, right as rain.
So how much did you heal yourself with that?
27.
Okay.
So are we in agreement to head north, or is there any...
Yep.
I guess we'll have to wait for Rohan's turn for the final vote.
Yeah, someone mentioned going north. And yeah, I'll follow.
Don't worry, Fenrith, you can go first. Which I guess he kind of has to, being that he's bigger. Just put a blockade.
All right. Let me make...
So does he not grow taller and just grows wider? It's one of those funny things, though, where, like, technically, because we're, like, all pushing 7 feet or more, he probably doesn't grow that. Well, like, he would, because it's a percentage base. But in theory, he wouldn't have to grow that much taller to become large.
Yeah. He grows up like 6 inches, but he puts on 4 times the weight.
Yeah, the mass.
It would be horrific to see a super wide person coming down a hallway like that.
Oh, there was that one, was it a Kanye video where they're walking around in, like, those...
Yeah.
Okay, Graham, so when you use that obsidian wand to heal yourself, it feels very different than ever before. Like, you can feel it like the normal power that you feel when you use a charge. It's like times 10 at least. So like almost vibrates itself out of your hand. It warms up to the point where it's almost painful. But you manage to hold on to it. But at any rate, so it ends up healing you entirely.
I don't think I should use this anymore.
I was hoping that it would melt you into the floor and that you could do the Terminator thumbs up on the way down.
So that happens to you, and then
Or that went off like a gun and just Graham brain all over the cave wall.
and then that'll bring us.
Fenrith, you have to give me a minute to dismiss that. Doesn't it take the same action as...
I don't think we were planning on dismissing it.
Oh, we're just going to walk through it.
Yeah.
No, I think we were going to... Well, my idea was leave the ones to the south, dismiss that one.
I mean, it's not storming. It's just ice floor.
It does mess with your perception a little bit, but in an odd way. It's like, instead of giving you a mischance, it just gives you a minus to your perception. But yeah, it's the damage part that only is on the initial cast of the spell.
And then the frozen floor can't be dismissed, right? That's just an effect of the storm being...
It goes away as soon as the spell ends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it balance checks to cross with that at normal speed on that, or just...
It just changes it to terrain you can run or charge through.
Okay,
Take
yeah.
double cost.
I don't really see a reason to dismiss it. And Casimir said calmly as he walked out into the ambush.
Well, you guys can start forging through it. Then it's pretty. And then I'll dismiss it before I get in there.
Walking through this storm is tough.
I just got harmed. And my curing rod was real spooky.
You're the guy that says, "Hey, we should go camping," and then then you go to like the cabin while everyone else is out in the tent. Where'd you go, Graham? Oh, there's this log cabin I stayed the night in. This was your idea, Graham. I know. You guys look like you're having a lot of fun.
Getting reconnected with nature.
Yeah, I'm really glad I suggested it. You could thank me later. Then we get to see how high Fenris harm spells go.
He's up to like 150 damage or something.
Yeah, I mean, I saved on that one,
so it's half.
Yeah.
That would have killed me.
Because it's usually
close.
10 per level.
Yeah, it was 110 damage.
Yeah, and I had 7 hit points, so I would have been... Or I already had 7 damage, so I would have been dying. If I hadn't saved.
Oh, that's good. Better than outright kill. Those are always fun, though.
Yeah.
It's so rare in D&D, but then you get the ones where it's like ogre charges out of nowhere and critical.
They're rare after you pass level 3 or so.
Well, I mean, that 10 buffer seems to work out quite a bit until it doesn't, though. You're right. Call of Cthulhu just says if a single attack equals or exceeds your total hit points, dead. Dead.
Yeah, I guess we should have done the massive damage thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's true. You want
Graham
to
said hesitantly.
No, or maybe next time.
past it.
Dude, no, just make a mark, and he has to do it at some other point in time. It's like caused a permanent injury.
Next time I roll a 1.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually already enough things that will happen should something happen for Graham.
There's one more on the list.
If I keep adventuring, I'll become a weapon that nations use for war, like a secret weapon,
Mm-hmm.
with all the effects that will go off. He's the most destructive weapon ever devised.
Just lead him to the border.
Okay, Rohan, your turn.
All right. I'll kind of backpedal while keeping an eye on the southern route. Yeah, move 30 feet and keep one attack action.
So, are you a member of the Cobras, or are you technically now just Fat Man, ready to go off at any time? We'll know which, if Graham starts like training bees to live inside him, then we'll know he's like a member of the Cobra unit.
So you move up there, Rohan, and you've got an attack readied. And then that brings us to Casimir.
All right, since we're going, I'll cast haste on. I think I can do it on all of us. Let me double check. I think it's 1 per level. No more than 2 can be 30 feet apart. Graham's 25 feet from me, but that might. How far are you from Fenrith or Rohan, Graham?
Let's take a look. Fenrith's the
Don't
30
you
feet
count
away?
as
30
one of the
from Fenrir.
creatures?
35 for Rohan.
Yeah, but the way
Furthest
it's
away.
worded, it would be no 2 of which can be more than 30 feet apart. So, like, if he's further away than you, that would count, right? Am I reading that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was it Fenris that's 30?
Yep,
And Rohan is
35.
All right. I will delay until Graham gets within 5 feet of me,
Okay.
and then I'll cast it.
No, make Rohan move.
So we'll change your initiative to just after Graham.
Right where I like it.
And that will bring us to. Let me roll this here. Okay. And that'll bring us to Fenrith.
I'm going to delay until after Graham so we can dismiss that.
Okay. All right. So that'll bring us to Graham.
Okay, so I'll use my standard action to dismiss the ice storm. And
That's my turn.
I will move. I'll move up here next to Casimir just to show him how all right I am, not injured at all.
Smile, but now you're missing teeth.
Well, he's still got the crusted dried blood all over him.
One eye
Just-
is like completely like just bloodied, and the other one doesn't look straight anymore.
All right. And,
All right. Haste.
well, Graham, what you forgot about was the reset period on the one you disabled. Just kidding. So, yeah, Casimir.
Trickster.
All right,
Okay.
so I will use a swift action to negate the spell chance failure,
Okay.
and I will. Anyone got spell resistance? Do I need to press the cast on this?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. John?
I don't believe I do.
Okay.
I only have damage reduction.
All right, so everyone should now have haste.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Clear targets, and then I will move. Got to kind of stay out of John's way, I guess. Guess I'll move to there.
All right.
I forgot I could technically move 70 now.
Did you want to move further?
No. 10? Yeah. Gotta move quick. Only got 10 rounds, guys.
Okay, so you move up to there, Casimir. You can still hear the wailing of all the babies and the woman. But Fenrith, that brings us to your turn.
All right. I'll move.
Quick, Fenrith, equip your white tank top. Gotta go beat up some women and children.
You want to move to there?
Yep.
It's got to have a mustard stain on it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out the undead people, when they tell their side of the story, we just wandered into a maternity ward.
Is that kind of, what is it, like I Am Legend? Isn't that kind of?
Yeah.
All right. Fenrith, do a will save for me, please, in the tower.
The various undead news networks are Four unknown, flesh-covered creatures that were not desiccated wandered into a maternity ward and began to indiscriminately cut down fathers, mothers, and babies alike.
Okay.
More at 7. Another lovely day on the mountain, Jenny. Snow as far as the eye can see. Back to you.
Shows us high-fiving after Fenrith deals 100 damage to
To a baby.
You holding up your bracelet that you found.
Which is just how they keep track of which baby belongs to which mother.
That's a medical alert bracelet.
All right. So,
Hi, I'm Casimir. We're rampaging through a hospital.
Fenrith, as you exit the mouth of this tunnel, and all of you also hear, like suddenly you hear the sound of music and revelry and, like you'd hear in a very cheerful tavern or something. There's like a whole band of music and it's real catchy. You guys all hear that. Fenrith, you really hear it and you really feel it. And so you are now struck with the undeniable, uncontrollable urge to dance. And you begin doing so with foot shuffling and tapping. It is impossible for you to do anything other than caper and prance where you stand.
I know this spell.
They're really angry that we
Is
took
this
this
an
long.
enchantment?
It is, yeah.
All right. I don't know if it factors in the +2 racial we get. I don't know if that would make a difference. It doesn't sound like it though.
Well, it would count, but in your case, you rolled so low that you still didn't get the save. So yeah, you are struck by irresistible dancing.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
Well, this also goes in the newsreel for them. Because Rohan was doing his my surface just died dance. His salacious gyrating and
I was thinking that since
suggestive.
they're undead, that harm spell would be like a great healing circle for them. That just like we are in their hospital.
What would dancing be if we were trying to do it as a skill?
It'd be perform,
Perform,
so charisma linked.
I don't see
Don't
perform
roll
on
it.
there. I gotta see how good I did.
I think you gotta add the performs. Because they have a button up top that says add profession, add
Mhm.
perform.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the same with knowledge.
Yeah.
There's because I think I technically know all the knowledge skills or as like class skills. Hopefully you start singing too. Rohan, are you okay? Are you okay, Rohan?
All right, let me get this effect set up here properly. So it gives you a -4 penalty to AC.
You just start doing the Bernie. That's your move, Fenrith.
With Jitterbug.
And it gives you a -10 reflex save.
He's doing the worm.
Unfortunately, I think that would give him a bonus against range, and we can't have him receiving any bonuses.
Yeah.
Give him a intermittent bonus against ranged, right? He would
Yeah. Gotta.
come up and down.
Well, technically, wouldn't he just be laying down in the air at some point?
I don't know.
Because
Trying to
he's
visualize it
like he's
more.
not
Don't
standing on his feet, nor is he kneeling. He's technically laying
I thought they
down.
did it like over and over again.
And then how much AC does your shield give you, Fenrith? What is it, a +4, so 6? Because you lose any AC bonus to from your shield as well.
Correct.
So 6. So I'll just change this to 6 instead of trying to set up a separate one. So -10 AC. Okay. And that will be on there for a time. And I don't want you knowing how long.
For a number of rounds.
And that's your turn. But you do see, as you get there and you're looking around, you see that there's some people to dance with. In this room to your right, there are 4 individual creatures there, and I will describe to you. These are nude female, what probably were human or elven at some point, but they're the torso, disembodied female torso with bat wings, and they're, flapping through the air, and they've got, jagged, sharp teeth and a look of pure hatred as they see you on their faces. And so you're over there, doing whatever sort of dance that you can think of. And then the rest of you actually are watching this. Like you see, like you heard the music, don't know where it came from, but you see Fenrith, he gets over there and he's looking around and he's really cutting a rug, And
now I'm picturing Night at the Roxbury. He sees him. He's like, you, me.
Rohan, that'll bring us to you.
Okay. I'm not sure why he's doing it, but I'll
Join in.
kind of follow him up in that direction, figuring that he's in some sort of
And then
trance.
you'll see the nude female torsos.
Yeah. So I'll do one move action to move up
He's happy.
that far. Though I think it have to be a little bit closer because I got to go around that wall.
Bard should have a way to make that backfire where they can, like, if they're under the effects of that, they can use it to inspire it in an air.
Then everybody starts dancing.
Yeah.
Bard conga line.
Yeah, like from The Mask.
Yeah.
You need to have like misfire chances with permanent seeing spells. So like if you try and do that with haste, then they just have like a twitch to them, kind of like bad wired reflexes in Shadowrun. Try and permanent dark vision, and suddenly like they can't see in light, but they can see in dark.
All right, so you move up to there, Rohan, and that's where you wanted to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you move up to there.
And I don't see anything yet?
No, just you can see Fenrith dancing a bit, but nothing else.
All right, so then I'll move up by him and ask him, "Are you okay?"
All right, so you move up to here.
Oh my god.
For some reason, I imagine the music is like hooked on a feeling.
Yeah, so that you hear that music again, and
Which is the first part of the song.
Rohan, make a will save with a +2 for me, please.
All right. In the tower?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna be dancing.
Will save. Boom.
Yeah, so you can understand as you get closer to Fenrith why he's doing that, because why wouldn't you? So you start dancing uncontrollably.
What are you
Now
doing?
you guys know something is wrong because I don't dance.
This is our
You're
smile.
doing some weird like forest lady dance, like you have a scarf and you're kind of like
He's doing that dance that
kind of dance you might do with a unicorn.
that one lady was doing at the Nine Inch Nails concert years ago, waving her coat.
Excuse me, man. You're at a rock concert. You did not wander into a glade with butterflies and mushrooms or whatever you think you're at.
Rohan?
I figured it'd be more like a tribal dance,
Yeah.
Like just
You're a hippie, though.
yeah.
We're a very warlike bunch of hippies, though.
Like the people used to do at the drum circle where they're like,
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
No, I could see it as like some like either like Indian, like American Indian, or
yeah.
like maybe Aboriginal type. I could see it. Kind of stomping around like
These dances are like what is it? Like the New Zealand natives. Their type of dance. They do lots of
Is that
stomp, like he was saying.
Maori or
Maori, yeah.
something like that? However you
They
say.
do like a little power dance before
yeah.
competitions and stuff.
Okay, so that's let me get that on there. Do you don't use a shield?
No, but I do have shield on me still. I don't know if that still counts.
No, that's-
because I'm not directing it.
That's different.
which means you'll come in doing the twist, and then I will floss or something because I'm the Fortnite playing kid of the group. Come on.
You'll come moonwalking in.
There we go. I do have the acrobatics for it. I guess I could put some little stuff in there.
Actually, I'm surprisingly spry for a wizard if it comes to acrobatics. So,
so you'll surprise us then with some breakdancing moves in there. We just think all you can do is waltz, but you'll be spinning on your back.
Perform is charisma based, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm dancing horribly.
that's why I'm using acrobatics instead. It's not about the performance; it's about the show. I'm not trying to make money here, people.
But hey,
You hold your leg.
I'm
and
dancing like no
pop
one's
through it
watching.
with the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Get the thing going. in your
Actually, I
arms.
could probably just live Casimir's secret dream of being a gymnast and.
All right, and then that'll bring us to
Stick the landing. That's what his mother was pushing him into before she died. I don't even know I think his mom's still alive, but we'll just go with it that she was like one of those gym moms
You were such a wonderful.
or ballet.
You had such clean lines.
Graham. Your turn.
All right. Yes.
Charisma beat.
Seems like it's a good time up ahead. So my plan was to run up also along Fenrith.
Ooh.
The worst dance ever imagined.
I actually rolled negative on my
So,
charisma.
Graham,
So I move up.
give me your perception.
Okay.
I like how I'm just standing there watching everyone like go, and it's like, come on, guys, it's obviously a spell.
Yeah, there's obviously something going on.
It's obvious.
Getting an error here for some reason. What has happened?
But there's also like a doom to the
There we
look
go.
on my face because I know that I will conform
Yeah.
and follow you guys into this trap anyway.
So, Graham, you notice as you're getting closer that there's actually a trap on the floor that they're crossing over,
Oh, okay.
and you spot it.
Green.
Is there an easy way to circumvent it without disabling it, or are we moving into?
Yeah, basically they set it so that you can't miss it if you walk that direction. So you'd have to disable it,
Okay.
and it's a magical trap, but you'd have to disable it.
Well, I'll stop just before that and prepare to disable it.
Okay.
Is that what they play for the dead babies to go to sleep to?
This is the daycare portion.
Oh, okay.
They send them across it and then they dance and play.
All right, and then Casimir.
I'll move up to Graham and I'll be like, Graham, they're obviously walking into a spell. We have to be careful. We don't know its range.
Yeah, it's triggered from right here. I try
That
to
makes
turn
it easier.
off.
I'll keep you covered.
Thanks, Casimir.
So I'll ready to use Hand of the Apprentice if I see any enemies like trying to come near us.
Okay.
They're hasted too. These aren't like visibly clean dance moves that are going
Going
on.
too fast.
Yeah,
They both did a lot of coke and now
watching Dirty Dancing on fast forward.
All right,
Speaking in the corner.
Given the size difference,
now that
I
they're
guess I'm not Patrick Swayze.
No, you're the one that's going to get picked up and
Yeah.
wheeled around.
yeah the
Was it Sarah Gray?
I can't remember.
Jennifer Grey.
Jennifer Gray.
you guys are gonna start doing the tango now that there's two of you.
It's better than the other name I was going for, which is Sasha Gray. That's a whole different dance.
Nobody puts Sasha in a corner.
I'm not playing that dance.
I don't think you got a choice the way Fenrith is.
All right. So Fenrith is dancing and dancing. And so, Rohan, you also see these disembodied nude female corpses with really long, pendulous breasts swinging back and forth across the floor. And they're looking at you and Fenrith with utter hatred. And some of their skin, even as you look at them, is rotting and falling off, and they're flapping their bat wings, and that's when they charge you both.
This is just how they keep their donated breast milk.
And
Fresh
so,
from the Zors.
with a shriek, they
Pretty awful, though.
swoop forward to attack. But we'll have to do that next time.
Oh.
As we've come to the end of our session today, so we'll pick it up next time with the two dancing fools about to be attacked by these disgusting flying undead
Bat women.
bat women.
Awesome. Thank you, B.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks. That was
Thanks, Brandon.
disturbing,
Yeah.
despite the joking. This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.